The relations between the two empires, Ottoman and Russian, which had European and Asian characteristics, date back to 1492. Because of the power struggle between both empires, those relations were often strained and even antagonistic. The explanation for the struggle is that they are inclined to extend their boundaries to include European territories. In addition, after the late 1500s, this tendency gradually triggered many conflicts between the two empires. Over time, the relationships shifted as the two empires have changed. By the middle of the 19th century, when the Ottoman Empire was described by Tsar Nicholas I of Russia as the sick man of Europe, the power of the Ottoman Empire had already begun to decline dramatically. In 1923, the Republic of Turkey emerged as the successor state following the collapse. On the other hand, the Russian Empire also transformed into the Russian Provisional Government, Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republics, 1917 to 1922, then the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, 1922 to 1991, and the Russian Federation, 1991 present, respectively. As for the rapprochement, during the Turkish War of Independence, the Republic of Turkey's recognition by the Soviet Union was the first attempt. The Soviet Union's supply of finance and armaments to Turkey during the same war was another rapprochement between them. However, due to the unacceptable interests of the Soviet Union, such as securing both the Dardanelles and the Bosporus Straits at the beginning of the Second World War, the following days did not contribute to an improvement in relations between the two nations. The Cold War caused the two countries to be placed in enemy blocs and formed the basis for Turkish-Russian relations to return to a competitive environment. In the post-Cold War period, bilateral relations have been reshaped in parallel with the developments in the world on a regional and global scale. Although the Syrian civil war, which started when bilateral relations were on track, turned out to threaten political relations, the process showed that this concern was unfounded. In this context, Syria's situation was a manifestation of Russia's policy of protecting the Tartus military base and its presence in Syria. As a result of its desire to return to geography, it dominated during the USSR period. Turkey aimed to prevent more civilian victims of this civil war by adopting a policy consistent with NATO. Furthermore, Turkey aimed to develop policies to prevent the emergence of formations that would threaten its security on the other side of the border. The most significant impact of the civil war in Syria on bilateral relations was realized with the Russian fighter jets shutdown. Economic and commercial relations, which were not shaken despite conflicts of interest in political matters, were deeply shaken as a result of this crisis. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov cancelled his visit to Turkey to attend the Turkey-Russia High-Level Cooperation Council's meeting on December 25. Subsequently, statements came from Russia that this act would have serious consequences. In this context, Lavrov called on the Russian citizens not to visit Turkey. The Russian Navy in the Mediterranean sent warships carrying the air defense system S-300 missiles off the northwestern Syrian region where the warplane was shot down. Russia announced it would continue to increase the Russian military presence in Syria, close the Turkish border, etc. The rising tension brought the cooperation and strategic partnership that started with the 2000s back to the spiral of insecurity stemming from the lack of dialogue and repeating mutual distrust of the 1990s. Following the fighter jet crisis, the first step towards normalization of relations was the messages of President Erdogan and Prime Minister Yildirim due to the Russian National Day on June 12, 2016. In his message, President Erdogan said, "On behalf of the Turkish people, I congratulate you and the people of Russia on the occasion of Russia Day. We wish Russian-Turkish relations to reach a decent level." Yildirim stated that he wishes that the relations and cooperation between the two countries reach a level vital for the common interests of the two peoples in the near future. After a month of these reciprocal statements, a failed coup attempt on July 15, 2016 in Turkey helped the normalization of Turkey-Russia relations. Criticisms of the USA and EU over how Turkey handled the failed coup attempt increased tension in Turkey's relations with the West. Thus, the tension with the West led to an acceleration of the normalization of Turkey-Russia relations. It accelerated the process of opening channels of dialogue between the two countries in the second half of 2016. Turkey has maintained secure and stable relations with the former Soviet republics since the breakup of the Soviet Union. In particular, due to the sharing of ethnic and linguistic links with the Turkic states, relations with them have always been significant for Turkey. Turkey put forward a discourse, The Great Turkish World from the Adriatic to the Great Wall of China. This discourse aimed to build a new sphere of influence among the Central Asian republics. Turkey's initial attempt was to play the role of a big brother for these Turkic countries along with the USA's support to prevent the Iranian influence in the region. Nevertheless, two obstacles hampered Turkey's aim. Other regional powers were not willing to see the United States of America in the region through Turkey. However, the post-Soviet Turkic states had just explored the international system's multipolarity. They did not want to rely on any single regional power. Under these conditions, Turkey was only able to develop minimal relations with the Turkic states. Furthermore, Turkey's relations with some of the Turkic states could be characterized as near the breaking point at the end of the 1990s. For example, Uzbekistan broke off its links with Turkey because Turkey was accused of harboring Uzbek opposition groups that Uzbekistan considered terrorists. Since Turkey is a regional power, it has several foreign policy directions. The Russian Federation has consistently had a central position in Turkish foreign policy. Once, it was a rival until the USSR collapsed and then evolved into a pragmatic partnership. At the same time, Central Asian and the Caucasus states occupy an important place in Turkish foreign policy regarding finding out its potential and creating a sphere of influence from the Adriatic to the Great Wall of China. From a historical perspective, Turkey-Russia relations were formed in the competitive ground. Since the beginning, relationships dominated by competition and war evolved into a different dimension with the collapse of the Ottoman Empire and the Russian Empire in the early 1900s. Nevertheless, the Cold War that took place after the Second World War caused the positioning of the two countries in the enemy blocs and formed the basis for Turkish-Russian relations to return to a competitive environment. In the post-Cold War period, bilateral relations have been reshaped in parallel with the developments in the world on a regional and global scale. Turkey has maintained secure and stable relations with the former Soviet republics since the breakup of the Soviet Union. In particular, due to the sharing of ethnic and linguistic links with the Turkic states, relations with them have always been significant for Turkey. Turkey put forward a discourse, The Great Turkish World from the Adriatic to the Great Wall of China. This discourse aimed to build a new sphere of influence among the Kars. While Turkey is at the crossroads of Asia and Europe, and this geographical location underlines its desire to become one of the regional powers, Turkey has not been able to transform itself into real regional power since the late Ottoman period. It can be suggested that one of the reasons is that there was no distinct, robust grand strategy for Turkey. Turkey has turned its face towards the West since the late Ottoman period, as it has been viewed as the root of modernity. Over time, this shift has been maintained by many structural and strategic shifts within the international political system, such as Italian fascism, Nazism, and the Cold War, etc. However, as the founder of the Republic of Turkey, Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, stated that the transformation of the country's main aim was to keep up with the modernity of the West. While Turkey succeeded in modernizing itself and keeping up with the West, it kept a small, robust power position until the 1990s. Turkey's accession to the G20 in 1999, whose membership is made up of systematically important advanced and emerging economies spanning all regions of the globe, was a turning point. It is safe to claim that the AK Party's active foreign policy understanding after 2002 led Turkey to be considered a middle power. Turkey was once a barrier to Soviet communism, then a bridge between Europe and the Middle East, including Central Asia. Today, for Muslim countries, it is an outstanding model. In this context, this chapter will examine the relations between Turkey and Russia, Central Asia, and the Caucasus states, taking into account the historical history, in order to understand the goals and priorities of the Turkish foreign policy path. Now, it is an exemplary model for Muslim countries. Turkey became a member of the G20 in 1999. The Cold War caused the positioning of Turkey and Russia in the enemy blocs. Turkey did not aim to improve relationships with the Turkic states on the grounds of institutional ties. Enhanced multidimensional partnership established between Turkey and Russia in 2008. Mongolia was not recognized by Turkey following the collapse of the USSR. Eurasian Economic Community. Belarus, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan. Uzbekistan was previously a member of the EAEC, however it suspended its membership in 2008. G20, the Group of 20, is an international forum for the governments and central bank governors from 19 countries and the European Union, EU. Founded in 1999 with the aim to discuss policy pertaining to the promotion of international financial stability, the G20 has expanded its agenda since 2008 and heads of government or heads of state, as well as finance ministers, foreign ministers, and think tanks, have periodically conferred at summits ever since. It seeks to address issues that go beyond the responsibilities of any one. Group 1, Australia, Canada, Saudi Arabia, United States. Group 2, India, Russia, South Africa, Turkey. Group 3, Argentina, Brazil, Mexico. Group 4, France, Germany, Italy, United Kingdom. Group 5, China, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea. The Turk Stream pipeline project replaced the South Stream project and runs along almost the same route. Turk Stream leads from Russia to Turkey, starting at a compressor station near Anapa in Russia. It then crosses the Black Sea and makes a stop in Kyky northwest of Istanbul. The pipeline runs under the Black Sea for almost 230 kilometers in Russian waters before entering Turkish waters, where it continues for about 700 kilometers. The line has the capacity to transit 31.5 billion m3 cubic meters per year in natural gas. The pipes, which are lying in up to 2,200 meter depths, were manufactured by German, Russian, and Japanese companies. Each of the involved countries in Southeast and Central Europe is responsible for their own extension of the pipeline. Total length amounts to 1,213 kilometers. The offshore section runs at depths of up to 2,150 meter. 4 hectares of relic woods. Tunnels were built at the mountainous section of the gas pipeline under the Kabila and Bazymiani ridges. The total length of the tunnels was 3,260 meters. The Blue Stream gas pipeline is planned to supply Russian natural gas to Turkey via the Black Sea, bypassing third countries. Blue Stream supplements the gas transmission corridor running from Russia to Turkey via Ukraine, Moldova, Romania, and Bulgaria. Blue Stream has significantly enhanced the reliability of gas supplies to Turkey, and it contributes to the gas market and infrastructure development in this country. Turkey revised its stance towards these states after 9/11 on the following principles: to contribute to the consolidation of their state structuring, to preserve political and economic stability and promote regional cooperation, to encourage political and economic reforms, to assist their integration with the international community and Euro-Atlantic structures, to develop bilateral relations in all fields on the basis of equality, mutual interest, and respect for sovereignty, to support the transportation of their energy resources to international markets freely and through alternative routes.